Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast about Beyond the Gates. If you are new, welcome. So, this week we got Vanessa just burning all her relationships. She's just living in this fantasy world with Joey, and she is just she doing the most. And she just in this, oh, Joey this, Joey that, Joey this, Joey that. It's like you gotta burn your relationship with your best friend Nicole and your daughter over Joey. Girl, bye. So, how did you feel about Vanessa versus Nicole?
I thought that Vanessa was wrong only because I felt like she shouldn't have had that gathering, that couples thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
She already knew that Nicole really didn't care for Joey because of the line of work Joey does. But then Vanessa feels like, oh, you just putting him down. Joey started that fight, Nicole and them just left at some point.
Yeah.
So I felt like Vanessa was in the wrong to me because I felt like she wants everybody to accept Joey. And then when people don't, she really gets in her feeling about it and then she's going off on them like they the problem. It's like, no, they're not. And I just think she needs to stop looking for people to accept him. If they don't want to accept him, I don't understand why she still couldn't be friends with Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Joey don't have nothing to do with their friendship.
No, not all. Just like with Danny. Because Danny's like, just do you, girl. She does not agree with her being with Joey. But she's like, hey, you love him? Okay. All right. And that's it. Whereas Nicole, I don't know. She's just trying to just. I feel like she's trying to change Joey to Doug, to have people accept Joey like they did Doug, and they are two very different people. And I feel like when she finds out that Joey was responsible for Doug being unalive, who would be there? Because she's burning all her bridges with her people. So I don't understand why she's just keep going down this path. And then Deanna shows up. I love Deanna. She's great. The actress that plays her is doing a wonderful job. But when she came into Uptown, she asked for, I think, a vodka soda, which is what they found in the flask of Doug, which isn't his normal drink. But she was on a phone call. Now, do you think she was talking to Doug or somebody else?
I have no idea. I don't know who she was talking to. But let me back up just for a second before we get into Deanna. I would say the only thing Nicole was wrong about is she is trying to basically shrink Vanessa. And I didn't like that. And I think Nicole needs to learn how to not shrink her friends and be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's where Nicole kind of lost me at is she does kind of talk to her a certain way that's not on a friendship level. So I say Nicole is wrong
I feel
for
like she
not.
does that to everybody, though.
Yeah, well, yes, she does, and that does need to stop. And Carlton tried to explain that to Nicole, but Nicole, got mad and basically put him out that night when
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to talk about it. But I would say that was the only thing I didn't like when she was talking to Vanessa is you cannot shrink your friend just because you are a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a friend to your friend. So I did not like Nicole going there with Vanessa. So anyway, going back to Deanna, I like her too. The person that's playing her is doing a good job. She's put Joey on the spot though. And she asked him, did the affair begin while her mom was still with her father? That's going to be interesting to see how Joey answers that because Vanessa didn't answer it. So that's going
No.
to be interesting to see how Joey answers that question. But
Well,
Deanna's not
she
playing.
did answer it, but Dion didn't believe her. So with Joey, she's like, yes or no. Was you with my mother while my father was alive, pretty much? Yes or no. And she knows that if he starts talking out his butt, she knows the answer is going to be yes. I look forward to what he's going to say because it's a simple answer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will tell the truth or not. If I was Joey, I'd be like, yeah, we were. What you gonna do about it? Because it's already happened. Like, what what does Deanna knowing do for her? I think it's what Joey is probably gonna.
Well, see, if he
answer or
say
approach
yes,
it.
if Joey say yes, then she know that her mama lied at that point, which is where her gut is telling her that her
Hmm.
mom is lying about a lot of things. So if he does that, it's going to actually cause friction between Vanessa and Joey at that point.
But
Be-
that's on Vanessa.
Right, yeah, exactly. But it's definitely going to cause friction because then she could go back to her mom and really lay into her about it, about her lying. And then she heard it from Joey. And then Vanessa would go to Joey and then be going off on Joey about it.
Yeah, but she will forgive Joey as usual because Joey can do no wrong. That's just how
Yep.
she is right now. And Vanessa, you keep going down this path, nobody will be there for you when you find out that Joey's the one that took Doug's life. All right. Speaking of moms, Darlene. Now, there's been a lot. It's I don't know what's going on, but there's been a lot of split between Darlene and Eva, and how people were on Darlene's side, how people were on Eva's side, plus Leslie. Like people were happy that Leslie had showed up. My thing is with how everything went down was Darlene already made up her mind about Eva. So I feel like the whole lunch should not have happened in the first place. I think Isaiah was just oblivious to what his mom was saying because I think a week or two before she didn't really want to deal with Eva because how everything went down last year. And with Leslie, she was there, but she was there to just bug Eva. She wasn't, I feel like she wasn't really helping Eva that much. So, what were your thoughts on this whole thing? Do you feel like Darlene was just being protective of Isaiah because of things that happened a few years ago, which we did get flashbacks about from the wedding, finally, between Naomi and Jacob, and kind of find out he was drinking. He didn't want to stand next to Jacob. Eli, whew, said some harsh words to Isaiah, saying how he doesn't belong in the family. I'm like, damn, Eli, like calm down. So I can understand why Isaiah feels like he's the black sheep of the family. But do you feel like Darlene was just protecting Isaiah, or do you feel like she was just going off because of what Leslie and Eva did?
I say both. I think she's definitely going to be protective of her son. I don't blame her. But at the other point I want to make is Leslie. I mean, who would want to deal with her?
Mm-hmm.
I think she needs to give Eva a shot though, but I understand where Darlene's coming from because with Eva comes her mother. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just Leslie is just way too much. I mean, Leslie even threatened Darlene, and Darlene point blank asked her, "Are you threatening me?" And Leslie was like, "Yes." So I mean, who would want to deal with that? I mean, she didn't have to say Eva was the spawn or Satan or something like that. She didn't have to go there when she was, talking to Isaiah about Eva. I felt like that was kind of, wrong for her to say because she doesn't really know Eva. She just
Mm-mm.
knows, she just hears stuff secondhand. And I feel like she does need to sit down at some point and get to know Eva in spite of Leslie. Because at the end of the day, if she don't sit down with Eva and get to know her, she's going to lose her son
Mm-hmm.
because her son is going to end up just not talking to his mom at some point because he's in love with Eva. That's clear.
Yeah.
So either she needs to get to know Eva a little better and talk to her and just try not to have Leslie around as much as possible. But if she want to have a relationship with her son, she's gonna have to probably get to know Eva a little bit better. And at some point, I'm hoping Eva will come to the realization that Leslie is a lot of trouble and Leslie's just going to continue to do stuff that's going to end up pulling Eva down. Because
Mm-hmm.
the way Leslie came and sat down, at first, you kind of like, okay, cool, she's going to defend Eva because Darlene was ripping into Eva pretty bad and that was uncalled for. But then when it was over with, Leslie was like, "Oh, well, I'm out of here." I was like, "What?" After all of that, and then Eva's just sitting there. It was just ridiculous. I don't see how Eva puts up with it. I feel like she needs to cut Leslie off so that she can enjoy her life. But I'm starting to wonder if they're gonna just have Eva and Isaiah just going at it alone and just not talking to either of their parents before this is over with.
Either of their mothers. Yeah. Yeah. Because I understood Darlene and Leslie's point of view because as their kids, but I feel like Eva and Isaiah should just keep their relationship to themselves. Maybe
Yep.
Eva can talk to Martin and Ted about it. Maybe even Andre, since that's her cousin. And with Isaiah, he could talk to Jacob or Joey about it. I would keep the moms out of it because they
Yep.
both are hard headed people. Leslie is crazy. We don't know much about Darlene. We just know that she can come off as an asshole to me because that's how she was with Naomi. Because she came from a good background and she was still giving her a very hard time. So it's just how she is, and I'm glad that Naomi told Darlene that Eva is trying to do better, but Leslie isn't. So just try to make sure you keep them as two separate people, but people see Leslie and Eva as one, and I feel that's how Leslie wants it to be, because she wants to make sure as a narcissist that Eva stays by her no matter what. And unfortunately, Eva's been brainwashed by this parent for 20 something years, and she still has that in her. As the audience, it's frustrating to see that. But in real life, we know people like this, and you can see it, but it's up to that person to walk away. And I hope someday Eva will put boundaries or walk away from Leslie some kind of way, but who knows? We shall see on that one. Next up, we got Tomas. So he tries to go in like, Bill, I'm sorry, I'm out of here. Bill, like, no, you not. Sit your butt down. I'm like, what, Bill? He feels like Lynette is the problem, that Haley's innocent. He's oh so close. But Miss Lynette is threatening Haley over and over again. So she wants to pretty much pay her out, give her money for life, is what it sounds like. And Haley just keeps going along with it. If I was Haley, I would have said, go ahead and tell Bill. That's what I would do. And then when Bill talks to Haley, all she gotta do is twist the story, do little boo hoo and crying. And I feel like Bill would be like, oh, okay, because he feels like Lynette is the problem and not Haley. So if you was Haley, what would you do?
I would probably, you know what? If I was Haley, I would sit Bill down and I would talk to him because Lynette is just going to keep coming no matter what. Even if Haley sets her up and makes sure that she has the penthouse of her dreams and all of that, she's still going to continue to come from her until Haley is 6 feet under. So if I was Haley, I would just say, you know what, the gig is up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows about her poisoning Bill, but the miscarriage is sus. And it sounds like Naomi's not going to say anything, so she might can get away with that too. So if I was her, I would sit Bill down. I would go, hey, I'm a con, basically. This is what I've been doing. I know Lynette, blah, blah, blah. I'll probably just lay it all out. He'd probably be mad. He might try to divorce her or whatever at that point, but whatever. It's better than being beholden to what Lynette is asking her to do, because what
Mm-hmm.
Lynette asking her to do, she can't do it. She
Yeah.
can't.
No,
So
not long term, no.
no,
So
it's
that's why
stupid.
I feel like if I was Haley, I'd be like, go ahead and tell him. Go
Yeah,
ahead. And then whatever she says to Bill, because I'm I feel like she doesn't have the receipts. All she has is stories. So
right.
I feel like whatever she tells Bill, be like, yeah, I was like that until I met you, boo. You know,
Yep,
she could just twist that.
she can.
Because at the end, if Lynette says something to Bill, she still gets nothing. I'd rather have her get nothing than to be draining me on my money that
Right.
I'm supposed to be getting. Like, no, bump that. So if I was Haley, I'd be like, go ahead and do it.
Or in soap opera fashion, she needs to come off her birth control, get pregnant, because that guarantees Bill won't touch
Haley
her.
ain't trying to push no big baby out.
No,
You see how
that was
tall he
funny.
is? You see how tall he is? No, she ain't
that,
trying to push his big ass baby out.
that
No.
was funny when she said that to Randy. I was
Nah,
like, no, she didn't.
That's a plan B. But if I was her, I would just call her bluff, make a sad little story, and keep it pushing. And
Yeah, but Randy,
if Bill gets upset about it, whatever. But she will at least get some money than no money. You
right.
know.
Well, Randy said he got a plan, so let's see what his plan gonna be for Lynette, because
Randy.
they got to do something about her, because
Oh
she is
no.
just, I don't know. She not gonna stop. So moving on to Smitty. Smitty. You know I love me some Smitty. But what was she doing in Nicole's office? Oh, Smitty, you did not shut down the rest of that system because Naomi had walked in and he think he got away with something. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting to see how this come out next week because Nicole then gonna call IT and in the previews, I see Leah comes up there to talk to her. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be messy now.
Yeah. And kind of find out Leah and Malone are good friends. And he told Elon that Leah is good people. I'm like, coming from you, Malone, I don't know about that. So it makes me wonder if Malone could be number one if he's the impaler. Because he is a dirty cop, but sometimes wouldn't make sense because he's working for Joey. The impaler would have money because he's been working to get money for his boat. So I don't know if it is Malone, but I don't mind throwing his hat in there just in case.
I don't think he's probably the top person, Malone, but he probably knows about it. He probably knows more than what he told Jacob's dad about it.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And then we got Madison.
I felt
Um,
so bad for her.
I did
I
too.
was like, "Your mama is just issues after issues." But it's just very unfortunate because it does happen where people try different remedies, which is understandable. I'm not against remedies, but I'm about common sense. You know, if you feel like this remedy isn't working, then go see a doctor about whatever is going on. And with Madison, her mama just getting her into trouble. But what I do hope happens is that we have a court scene. We have two lawyers, Bill and Naomi, and Tomas, and we have not one court scene. So I really hope that we do see that.
I hope so too. And I'm glad that Bill and Naomi is going to team up to take her case. I think that's going to be fun to watch. And I definitely 100% agree with Naomi from the beginning. You fight. You
Mm-hmm.
don't just do a payout for something like that. And hope, but I understood Bill's point though. If the jury goes the wrong way, if it gets, a jury trial, then Madison, could be screwed if they don't go in her favor. So I understood Bill's point.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think that Madison did the right thing and she's gonna fight. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yes. And I really want court scene Beyond the Gates. Come on, bring it on. Well, that's our take for Beyond the Gates this week. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Until next time, everybody.
Bye everybody.